Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And we're back to Monday, so it's our colour challenge Monday that we're doing today. And this is our selection, so we've got Garden Green, Mango Melody and Flirty Flamingo are the colours that we are using today. Okay, and I have created this card for you. Okay, so I've used the mango as the card base and sentiment, flirty in the flowers there. This is a die cut which I have sponged with the garden green ink just to sort of make it a little less in your face. It's a bit dark, so so that's what we're making. So as usual, I'm just going to sort of invert the colours. I'm going to swap around the flirty and the mango so that you can get a different look in the same card. So I've already got my Flirty Flamingo card base there and my Whisper White layer. So that's my usual 4 by 5 3/4 layer that I've got on there. So that's ready to go. We'll just move these ink pads out of the way and I shall show you. The stamp set is called Tranquil Thoughts. I've also got the Tranquil dies, so these are available as a bundle. So remember, when you buy a bundle you save 10% on the total price. So really fabulous set. You can see which elements I've used there really. Just sticking with the thank you, so some thank you cards for some orders I've had recently. So we're going to use this large die to create our focal image. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in some white cardstock and just secure that down with some tape, just in a couple of places. So this die not only cuts out the outline but also embosses. Okay, because with you can see there's like these little indentations, so we've got the deep sort of line around the edge, but then there's these shallower cuts there. I think you can see the difference between that and the main one. So they will actually emboss, but you use your die cutting sandwich on your cut and emboss machine. So that is going to be your base platform, your thin die plate, die cutting plate, your number 2, and then your cardstock is going to sandwich between 2 number 3 plates. And I'm actually going to roll that through and back just a couple of times, so that last bit's going to crunch through. And I've just changed my plate, so I've got a new plate that's cutting into, so it's gone forward once, and I'm just going to go through again just to make sure that embossing comes through as clearly as we can make it. So you're going to get all your little bits come out of the die. The die's cut so cleanly. Okay, so we'll just lift away our die from there, and our die cut just falls out of there. We've just got all these little bits that we need to just scoop up, and there's nothing to poke out of the die at all, the die cut. Couple of things stuck in the die, but we can poke those out later. So I'm just going to put all that stuff to one side just for the moment. Just going to clean off my die plate though, because my die cutting plate, because we need to cut out our other elements. We don't want those little bits catching on there. So hopefully you can see that those lines have appeared. Okay. So to bring out all that nice detail, we're going to use our garden green ink with a blending brush. Okay, whoops, couldn't get it open then. Okay, so I don't want to have loads and loads of ink, just want a really nice soft look to this. I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper so I can just hold that down and not get in a mess. Okay, so it's going to add some ink to my brush and just take off some of the excess, okay, and we'll start working in the corner and bring it onto the cardstock. So the different sort of indentations, if you like, in the card will take ink in different ways. And bring out the details, okay? So it'll catch the edges. I'm going to go a little careful, which is why I've just got this piece of paper here, just to try and support the rest of it while I'm going over the other elements. So just rounding circles mainly. So I just want to blend out that little blobby bit now, really. Try and hold this down as much as I can. And this bit is really delicate, so I'm just going to wipe over that in the direction it's going so that I don't crease it. Okay, so you get a sort of, it's not a uniform look, but that's not what we're going for anyway, so that will do just nicely. So I can move that to one side, and just need to do a teensy bit of surgery on it. Just going to move that out of the way before I end up with the calamity. So if you line up, because I'm a bit averse to having things straight up against edges, I don't know, I just like to have a little border peeking out, but this just sort of pokes out at the end, whereas that one doesn't. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and just sort of snip off that end and make it look like it was supposed to end there, and no one will ever know, apart from you guys, that I've just shown how that I've done it. Okay, so that can actually be tacked in place. So just for some speed, I'm going to use my glue runner. Probably be better off using wet glue to make sure you get all those little bits down, but once all the other stuff's on, it's all going to stay in place anyway, so that's totally your choice what you want to do with that. And we'll just lay this down, she says. Like so. Did you hear me concentrating then? Okay, and this can go straight onto our card base. So again, just using some Stampin' Seal to do that. So just you line up your top, bottom and end here. Should be okay at the top, which it is. And with 10th fold cards, just make sure you burnish your score line so that it stands up. Okay, so there's our base card all done. So we'll bring in our other ink pads. We need our Mango Melody to stamp the flowers, and what I haven't got is a scrap of cardstock, so I'll just grab that piece that we've just used the die cutting on. So bring in the little flowers. I just did 2 sets. Again, you know, you can play around with the layout, I should say. See what you want to do. I've got some leaves left over from my sample, so I'm not restamping the leaves. I'm just going to do our... Oh, isn't that such a fantastic colour? Isn't it bright? Super duper. And then the sentiment we're going to do in Floaty Flamingo. So we'll bring that in Again, just some light tapping. Let's stick that up there somewhere, because we're die cutting it, it won't matter. Okay, do love Flighty Flamingo, it's a really lovely pink. Okie dokie. So, a bit more die cutting to do then. So, we'll get our sentiment done with this. This is one of the stitch rectangles. So that there's just that one die that's a slightly different shape to the others. That's perfect for these little sentiments. So they're a really nice staple to have in your craft stash. So my go-tos are stitch rectangles and the Stitch So Sweetly. So if you've seen my channel, you will already know that. If this is the first time you've come along to my channel and you're new to paper crafting, new to Stampin' Up, I'd love to have you subscribe. That would be amazing. So we'll just roll those through, and then obviously we'll have to just cut the second bunch of flowers separately. That's fine, doesn't take a moment. These dies would fit into the mini cut and emboss as well, so if you've only got the mini, you could do that too. So we'll just peel back that tape. There's our flower, and let's do this one. Oh, did it first time on the other one. There we are. I think I just spun that like completely around to get that lined up, which is a bit daft, isn't it, really? So just reposition that, whack that through the machine again, and then that's it. We just need to put it together. Like I say, any crunching and cracking on when you're die cutting is totally normal. It's just the machine doing its job. Okay. If you peel tape back on itself like that rather than lift, peel it back, it's less likely to tear your project as well. So that's just another thing. I say less likely, it's not guaranteed, but it's less likely. That's my sample. What am I doing? Let's bring in our card and some trusty dimensionals, because you know it ain't a Verity card without dimensionals. Okay, and we're just going to put a couple on each of these elements. Okay, really easy to get off the backings. I do know though, if anyone is suffering with arthritis or anything, those kind of peeling and pinching motions are difficult, so they will come off quite nicely with tweezers. So see what I mean about these bits, it doesn't matter if they're not glued down, they're going to be glued down now because they're going to be stuck behind this flower, I should say. And then we just tuck this in there. I'm just eyeballing this edge to make sure it's straight. And if you have your sentiment connected to your focal points, it just all feels more cohesive and connected. And the only thing to add are rhinestones, so we'll just grab our take your pick tool, and so we're going to go for our 3. So I usually go with a large and a teeny tiny, and then a medium up there somewhere. And again, you're drawing it all together with your embellishments, and because they're clear, they don't contravene my my colour challenge. And I haven't added my leaves. So let's just put a tinsy bit of seal behind there. And add in our leaves. You don't have to if you don't want to. just stick them in. So it looked alright without them, to be honest, so up to you. If you want to leave them out, you could leave them out. Okay, but just gives that just makes that green pop a little bit, I guess. There we are. Quick, easy. Add some wink if you like. So there we go. Same coloured ink pads that we've used there, but to get two different cards with the same design. Okay, so I hope you like that. I wonder which one you prefer. It's a really hard choice, I think, actually. Really hard. Okay, as always, links are in the description, guys, so if there's anything here that you fancy purchasing, please do click down there. Please do like and subscribe, share with your friends. Love to see you back here. Take care, everyone. Bye.